streak. He won the first X-Trial stop in St. Petersburg. Welcome back, everyone. Virginia Beach, very breezy. This is the list of our finalists for Bike Stunt Flatland. Some names you've seen, some names you haven't. And a lot of these guys going for X Games invitations. There's 10 in all. 2 runs up to 90 seconds each time they're on course. 100-point scale is how it's judged. And overall score is determined by averaging both scores together. First on course, Marty Copa, X-Trial, 7th place in St. Pete.
The advantage that Marty Copa has, Doug, coming into this competition is since he is a European rider, the judges haven't seen a lot of him, so they'll see a new style and they'll see a new flair, and I think he'll be scored high on that.
Beautiful opener for Copa. Now understand the premise here: for 90 seconds, do very difficult tricks like that, oftentimes spinning the bike, oftentimes on one foot, and do it without touching your feet to the ground.
The key is to link about 15 to 16 different tricks in one part of your run, maybe pause a little bit, and then go at it 2 more times. So you can get 3 different transitions in your run together. Marty working up on the front of the bike. Works a lot on his front wheel throughout his entire run.
Just under a minute left, and he's been working on a lot of tricks, maybe holding back a little bit.
I just have to try as hard as I possibly can. I always been like saving my tricks. I don't know, I might be kind of lucky guy.
I don't know about luck. He works very hard at what he does and hangs on there. Marty Copa putting together a very good run.
Good run, but we saw the touchdown right before we talked to him. A rare touchdown for a guy of Copa's talent level.
I would consider that one a touchdown, too. Even though he stayed on his bike, he laid it flat on the ground. This is his 3rd transition now. We've seen him do 2 links already. Short amount of time left, so he's got to end with a bang. He loves to be up around that front tire. Doing a nice job of coming out of this.
And time is up for Copa.
Marty Copa starting off his run, spinning right there on the front part of the bike, working it from top to bottom.
Quite get paid in round number 1 here.
Yeah, you got that right. I think there's a little bias going on with the judges, to be honest with you. They've seen him be spectacular so many times. They're seeing new kids come up. So after last year's X Games, you saw that he finished 3rd in last year's X Games. After that, we went to B3 in New York City, and he defeated Trevor Meyer. What I like about Andrew Ferris, he puts together some serious, difficult combinations.
Interesting. Took a break very early there to make that transition. Typically, we'll see 15, 20 seconds in the initial run before they take a break.
It's all about getting a groove, getting a rhythm, and right now, Andrew Ferris with a pretty solid opening in the 2nd part of his run.
Watch that right hand, working the brake. Start and stop the wheel so he can step over the bike. Beautiful technical moves halfway through run number 1.
A good link of tricks. He hasn't touched down yet. Marty Copa touched down twice. Trevor Meyer did not. There's a touchdown.
As soon as you say it, there comes the touchdown.
So Andrew has to get himself regrouped here to finish strong. Right up there on the tip of the bike, scuffing with his left front foot and then jumping back around. Now, he likes to work the front of the bike as well. And at the same time, he's got those brakes working in his right hand, switching it around in between his legs. A lot of front tire work being done right here by Andrew Ferris. Going to finish strong, and that's a solid run by Andrew Ferris. He only touched down 1 time, worked a lot in front of the bike. A whole lot of balance going on right here. Andrew Ferris with only 1 touchdown should get a pretty decent score.
Round 1 of 2, fair for him. Daniel Rigby, 14th at the 97 X Games, looking to get a better finish this year.
Daniel is another one of those guys that are starting to edge in the top 10 in every single competition. Here, Pinky tweaked to a death mark, and he did in St. Petersburg, but his first round score not as solid as he wanted to be.
Of the 2 scores that determines the final number.
Doug, that's a key point right there, because you have to be consistent on both runs. Starting off with mega spins, just the way he started off in his first run.
Also in the first run, Copa, remember, the 2 touchdowns we saw I would imagine you'll walk away from that and you try and forget all about that and really just focus on the second run. But you got to wonder if it still plays on his mind, you know, gee whiz, this part of my run in the last round, I touched down.
No question about it. That comes to play if he does the same run again. Now, he'll do some maneuvers in the same place, but it would be beneficial to him to change it up a little bit. Sometimes he looked out of control, but he's able to pull it back. Just what he did right there. Looked out of control, did a little bunny hop over the X. Starting off on the left side of the bike and a move up to the handlebars here. Oh, man, he holds on right there. Look at the tremendous balance Copa has. He touches down. I didn't know how he was going to get out of that in the first place, but he did a nice job of extending that trick as far as he could. Going right back to it and comes down again.
2 touchdowns, run 1. Tally it up again in run number 2.
2 major touches, I would say. And with just 7 seconds left on the clock, he would have to do something really big here to finish strong. And it's not going to look like he's going to finish very strong at all. If you're doing difficult tricks and you fall once or twice, the judges let it slide a little bit. But Marty Copa had 2 touches to
the 97 X Games where he won gold.
Trevor was so much in the groove, 3 minutes did not touch 1 time.
Back to Virginia Beach, Trevor Meyer, second and final run, 90 seconds on the clock.
Trevor Meyer is one of the most consistent riders the sport has ever seen. His bike is set up a little different. The handlebars are higher. He brings the feet up higher. Nice linkage of tricks right there. 15, 16 different tricks. And every time you link them together, you want to put about 15 or 16 different tricks together.
Watch the delicate maneuvers with the feet, but also watch, see that left hand working the brake? That's how they really get around the bike. Hand behind the back now, seat grab.
Trevor works in tight circles. Some riders like to use the total width and length of the course. Trevor likes. And looking at Trevor, I would assume that if Trevor stays on his bike and does some difficult tricks like he's doing right now, I would suggest that he should get a higher score. Look at this move. So original, Trevor Meyer. Oh, my goodness. I haven't seen him do that before. A decade out. Doing some mega spins with a half-bar spin.
Meyer perhaps answering the judge.
Very solid run by Trevor Meyer. This move, I haven't seen him perform in competition. With that right front foot, it'd be tremendous balance, and I think the judges really enjoyed his style. He sixth, though, did some spectacular, difficult moves all the way through his 90-second run.
Fellow Brit Phil Dolan was here to add a little international pressure to the field.
Phil did better his second time around, scoring an 88 even. Very few touches. Worked the front of the bike a great deal for a good score.
Round number 2 now. Andrew Ferris, the last guy to go. He needs away from a possible championship.
Andrew does a lot of difficult tricks. He is known for that. That's how he qualified, where he did qualify first. Didn't really like that, though.
Oh, it's not something I like to do. It's too hard. It's like too much pressure when you're at the end of the line. Just to lay it down kind of thing.
That is a lot of pressure. You're expected to do well if you qualify first.
I would think there might be a benefit, though, because you're last and you get to see what everybody else does. You know what you have to do.
And Andrew knows that he has to put together a very fluid run without falling off his bike. And so far, he's doing that. A long time left. 90 seconds, Doug, is a long time to be out there on the flatland.
Taking good time. A hold of the seat, transfer to the back tire, all the way back down to the pegs and back on the bike. A very quick, very hard to see sequence, but something that the judges pick up without question.
You have to be a rider to be able to judge a competition like this, because you have to know the difficult sequences. And Andrew has some of those difficult sequences that it's very hard to tell what he's doing.
Bar spin, touchdown.
Coming at the end of that sequence.
Final 10 seconds. Last run, last rider. Andrew Ferris, round number 2, 92.4. The average, 92.1. That will finish second on the day. The way we wrap it up in bike stunt flat.
Almost everybody kind of takes the first place.